7.3 rebounds, 8th in the SEC in three-point shooting and three-pointers made. At a forward, number 11 is Justice Carlton, 6'1" sophomore from Katy, Texas, out of Seven Lakes High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American. 9.4 points, 4.4 rebounds per contest. Another forward, number 25, Brea Cunningham, 6'4" junior from Chula Vista, California. Spent 2 years at Arizona before transferring to Texas. Former McDonald's High School All-American, was honorable mention All-Big 12 last year at Arizona. 9.5 points, 5.4 rebounds per contest. And the other forward, the SEC Player of the Year from last year and first-team All-American, number 35, Madison Booker, 6'1" junior from Ridgeland, Mississippi, out of Germantown High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American. 5th in the SEC in scoring with 19.2 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, 4 assists, also 10th in steals in the SEC. Visiting Longhorns in their burnt orange, white numbers, white trim, moving left to right as we look at them from near the concourse level in the corner behind the Texas bench here at Colonial Life Arena. Coach Dawn Staley's Gamecocks 17-1 overall, 4-0 in Southeastern Conference play. It's the usual lineup. Point guard number 25, Raven Johnson, 5'8", fifth-year senior from Atlanta out of Westlake High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American, named to the SEC All-Defensive Team last year. 10.2 points, 4.4 rebounds, 6th in the SEC with 5.2 assists per game. Another guard, 0-0, Tania Latson, 5'8", senior from Miami, transfer from Florida State in her first year with the Gamecocks, former McDonald's High School All-American, 3-time first-team All-ACC, 3-time honorable mention All-American. 10th in the SEC in scoring with 16.3 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per contest. Third guard in the lineup, number 5, Tessa Johnson, 6'1" junior from Albertville, Minnesota, out of St. Michael's Albertville High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American, 13.1 points, 3.9 rebounds per contest. And a forward, number 8, Joyce Edwards, 6'3", sophomore from Camden, South Carolina, out of Camden High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American, honorable mention All-American, first-team All-SEC last year, 3rd in the league in scoring with 20.7 points per game this year, 6.3 rebounds as well. And in the middle, number 11, Madina Okot, 6'6", senior from Kenya, in her first season with the Gamecocks after transferring from Mississippi State. 15.1 points per game, 2nd in the SEC with 11.3 rebounds per contest. Also has 13 double-doubles. Gamecocks in their home white uniforms, garnet numbers. They'll be moving from right to left here in the first half in a packed Colonial Life Arena. Hey, Gamecock fans, when the Gamecocks make 3 3-pointers, you'll score a free 3-piece hand-breaded chicken tender with any purchase tomorrow at Hardee's. Simply download the Gamecocks app, show the Hardee's cashier the app offer, and enjoy hand-breaded tender deliciousness. Download the Gamecocks app today and check out this exclusive offer brought to you by Hardee's, participating Columbia and Spartanburg area restaurants only. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Officials for tonight's game, Joseph Vasily, Fatu Sissoko Stevens, and Kyle Bacon. Packed house here at Colonial Life Arena. They are on their feet. They've got the folks, and they asked the fans to wear the alternating colors based on where you were sitting. So you have garnet sections, white sections consecutively. So the most of the fans have complied and wore the appropriate color T-shirts here in the bottom bowl. Gamecocks take the floor first with their usual 5. Madina Okot will jump center for the Gamecocks. Gamecocks trying to avenge a 2-point loss to the Longhorns on Thanksgiving in Las Vegas when Rory Harmon hit a shot with 0.7 seconds to play to win it for Texas. 6th meeting in 12 months between these two teams after they met 4 times last year. Gamecocks winning 3 out of 4 times last year. Brea Cunningham jumping center for the Longhorns as we wait for TV to give us permission to play. Let's light this candle. Should be a good one. Top 5 matchup here at CLA in front of a packed house. Ball's in the air. Tip is controlled by the Gamecocks, moving right to left. We're underway at CLA. Tight man-to-man coverage as Raven Johnson gets it across. Rory Harmon, the queen of flopping and drawing charges. Up top, Tessa Johnson for 3. Bang! There's a start. That's a Dominion Energy 3, powering her every day. Tessa Johnson hits her 40th three-pointer of the year. Gamecocks with the early lead on their first possession. That got the crowd into it. Here comes Texas the other way. Booker for her first touch. Feeds it inside to Carlton. Works it outside, and traveling's going to be called on Texas. Gamecocks will have it on the turnover. You don't see a lot of turnovers from Texas. They average only 10.5 per game. Full court pressure by the Longhorns as Raven will bring it up on Harmon, two of the best point guards in the country, going head-to-head once again here. Raven gets it across, left-handed dribble to her left. Harmon stays with her. Up top tonight, Latson. She'll spot up for 3. Same spot as Tessa Johnson, but missed it short this time. Rebound to the Longhorns. Here comes Texas. Gamecocks lead at 3-0. Harmon, stop-and-go dribble. Pulls up left baseline. No good. Oh, my. A phantom foul called on Raven Johnson. Boy, they're going to call this tight tonight. My goodness. Fans don't like it. First foul on Raven. and that'll send Rory Harmon to the free throw line. Well, again, that was on the other end of the court. We don't have as good an angle on it as we normally would. That was about 150 feet away. I have to check the replay on that one, but that was tightly called. Rory Harmon at the line, the senior, just under 70% from the line. Hits the first one to get Texas on the board with 9:10 to play. One more time for Harmon. Hit them both, and it's 3-2. More pressure in the backcourt. Long baseball pass to Tania Latson, but it's a lousy one. Intercepted by Jordan Lee as Joyce Edwards didn't get enough on that. Lee takes a jumper from 15 feet, no good. Gamecocks get the rebound, so the turnover doesn't hurt. And then almost turned it over again as Lee was trailing Raven Johnson and poked it out of her hands into the Texas bench. The Gamecocks a little careless there, but it didn't come back to bite them. Still leading 3-2, just over a minute gone by here at Colonial Life Arena. Latson will bring it in front of the Texas bench, gets it into Edwards. Now to Latson right side. Latson driving the lane, wraparound pass to Madina Okot. She will lay it up and in. Madina Okot with the layup off the feed from Tania Latson. Gamecocks lead 5-2. 8:43 to play in the first quarter. Here come the Longhorns the other way. Harmon right side, guarded by Raven in the man-to-man. Feeds it up to the top of the circle to Booker, the SEC Player of the Year, working on Tessa Johnson. Drives the lane left side, puts it off the glass and in, and that cuts the lead down to 1, 5-4 as Booker gets her first points. Tessa unable to keep up with her. Joyce dribbling to her right. On the wing, hands it off to Madina Okot. Work it left side to Tessa. Drives with the left hand into the lane, fumbles, and taken away. Looked like she wanted to pass it and lost the handle. Here comes Harmon the other way. Dribbling left side. Okot tries to pick her up. They feed it, and it's stolen away by Tessa. Stepped into the passing lane. Gamecocks get it back. They get Joyce Edwards in transition. She will lay it up and in, and the Gamecocks lead 7-4. Gamecocks hustled down the floor and beat the Longhorns to get the layup. It's 7-4 Carolina. Here's Harmon across the timeline. Guarded by Raven in the man-to-man. Passes left to Booker, guarded again by Tessa. Shot clock halfway down. Gets a screen, goes the other way to her left, pulls up left side from 15 feet, got it, and Booker heating up. Back-to-back buckets for her, makes it 7-6. Gamecocks lead down to 1. Tessa not able to get a hand in her face. Don't know if that's going to match up we're going to stay with very long. Here's Raven Johnson. Top of the circle. Gamecocks lead is just 1. Passes right to Tessa, guarded by Booker. Around a screen to her left. Booker stays with her. Hands it off to Okot. Long baseline jumper near side. Too strong. It's an air ball. Rebound Jordan Lee. Here comes Texas looking for their first lead. Ball almost stolen away in the backcourt. It's battled for by Joyce Edwards. It goes out of bounds. It'll remain with Texas, but Joyce Edwards diving after the loose ball. Now they're going to say Carolina ball. Or are they? Edwards touched it and knocked it out of bounds. I thought it went off of Edwards. They may review this. Either way, timeout's going to be called with 7:04 to play. South Carolina leading Texas 7-6, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Hey, parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of fentanyl and other drugs, and try short conversations, not one long talk, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at OpenConversationSC. Got 3 out of 5 from the floor. Texas 2 out of 3. Longhorns have also hit a couple of free throws. Packed house here, bottom bowl completely filled, and upper deck, I would say about 90% filled. As packed as it's been in a while, this place holds about 18,000 and maybe 17,900 with rear ends and seats. Texas breaks their huddle. Brianna Preston checks in during the break, a sophomore guard from Jonesboro, Georgia, averaging 7 points per game. Texas in their burnt orange, Gamecocks in their home whites. And Texas will inbound in the backcourt. I'm surprised we're not pressing here. Triggered into Preston, and she will bring it up. Gets it across the block C. Around a screen to her, and got away with a travel. And now finally they call it. My goodness, she carried the ball and walked about 3 steps. They did call it, but boy, that was a late whistle. Gamecocks will have it on the turnover. Carolina ball still leading 7-6. Full court pressure again by the Longhorns. Edwards, the trigger woman, not guarding the inbound pass. We get it into Raven, trying to stay out of a double team. Needs some help, gets it to Joyce. Now you got to get it up and across. Edwards does get it across to beat the 10 count. Now the Gamecocks will settle into their half-court offense. Haven't seen a lot of full-court pressure this year. Shot clock already down 15. Somebody needs to get the ball from Joyce Edwards. So keep it on the floor, lobs it underneath to Madina Okot. One power dribble, floats it up, and missed it short. If she doesn't take the power dribble, she's probably got a layup, and that allowed the defense to collapse on her. Texas with the rebound. Just got to be more confident going up with it. Here come the Longhorns. Driving left side is Sidbury. Back out to Booker, left side, guarded this time by Raven Johnson. Trying to drive into the lane. Bounce pass to the right to Harmon. Pulls up from the baseline. Got it. Smooth stroke off the dribble by Harmon, and Texas has its first lead at 8-7 with 6:10 to play in the opening quarter. More full court pressure, and we throw it away, but get it right back as it caromed off Madina Okot. Gamecocks not handling this full court pressure by the Texas very well. Gamecocks trailing for the first time 8-7. Tessa was bumped, no foul, tries to drive, and now they're going to get a foul on Texas, and that'll put Tessa at the line. She was bumped initially. That caused her to lose her balance. Well, crowd on their feet because making her collegiate debut now, coming off the bench, Alicia Tournebize, the freshman from Charnay, France, will pick up Madina Okot. The Gamecocks call her Allie, so the 6'7" rookie comes into a top 5 showdown in the first quarter with 5:57 to play for her collegiate debut. Tessa Johnson at the line, the junior from Albertville, Minnesota. Misses the first one, and this is becoming a problem for the Gamecocks. Tessa, normally a good free throw shooter at 78%, missed that one. But the Gamecocks have shot it very poorly from the free throw line as of late. They're 14th in the league in free throw shooting. Tessa hits 1 out of 2 to tie us at 8 with 5:57 to play in the first quarter. Harmon across the timeline. Dribbling to her right, guarded by Raven. Gets away with a pancake, hands it off, driving in the lane. Jordan Lee puts it off the glass and in. That was a tough finish there. And Texas reclaims the lead, 10-8. More full court pressure. Joyce to trigger it in, gets it to Raven, beats it with one defender, drives into the lane, pulls it up and left it way short. Tournebize had the rebound and couldn't pull it down, taken away by Booker. Here comes the Longhorns the other way. Harmon from the left baseline, too strong. Rebound Raven, and the Gamecocks have it. Outlet to Tessa Johnson. Tessa finds Latson on the other side, who couldn't save it from going out of bounds. It's a turnover, and the Gamecocks turned away. Gamecocks just not sharp here, tried to get the transition game going, but that pass from Tessa Johnson was nowhere near. She'll come out now in favor of Agot McKeer, the freshman from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Gamecocks still trailing 10-8. No field goals in nearly 3 minutes for the Gamecocks. Harmon across the timeline for Texas, dribbling to her left, guarded by Raven. Bounce pass to the left to Booker. Around a screen, pulls up from the free throw line, missed it short. Rebound to the Gamecocks, Agot McKeer. Midway through the first quarter, quickly down the floor, Latson, left side, goes underneath to Joyce Edwards, fighting through a double team, needs help, and she throws it away. Another turnover, gives it back to Texas. Gamecocks not taking care of the basketball. Booker feeds it on the free throw line to Cunningham. Up top to Booker. She wants 3. Missed it short. Rebound Raven. Gamecocks have it. Still trailing 10-8. 4:40 to play in the quarter. Raven dribbling right. Tournebize sets a screen. Comes around it to the top of the circle. Back to Joyce right side. Drives the baseline. Stops, pops, and it won't drop. Rebound lost out of bounds. Off of Texas. It'll be Carolina ball. Gamecocks trailing 10-8. Haven't had a field goal in nearly 3.5 minutes. Got to get something going. They're going to get their big in there. Kyla Oldacre, the 6'6" senior from Mason, Ohio, checks in. Coming off the bench, averaging better than 12 points, nearly 7 rebounds per game. That is a tough matchup. We'll also get Justice Carlton back in. Raven will bring it in, baseline right side. Gamecocks down a bucket here. Gets it into Latson in the corner on the other side. Latson trying to create, puts the shot up, no good, but she was fouled by Jordan Lee and will go to the line. Lee collects her second, I believe. So 2 fouls on Jordan Lee. And we'll send Tania Latson to the line, looking for her first points. And she misses the first one. My goodness. Latson, an 83% free throw shooter, 3rd in the SEC, and she bricked that one. Of course, she hit the 2 clutch free throws with 15 seconds left to tie the game in the game at Thanksgiving. Second one is good, and the Gamecocks still trail 10-9, but my goodness, the Gamecocks can't make free throws on their home floor of the last week. Shot it terribly the other day against Georgia. Booker across the timeline, dribbling right, guarded by McKeer. That's a tough assignment for the freshman, guarding the SEC Player of the Year. Dribbling left, tightly guarded. Surprised we didn't get a 5 count. Comes around it to her left, dumps it up top to Carlton. Carlton driving in the lane on Edwards, puts it up, no good. Gets the stick back, no good. Foul underneath. It's going to be called against South Carolina. See if they put that on. I believe it was on Tournebize. Her first. And that'll send Texas to the free throw line, trying to add to their 1-point lead. It'll be Justice Carlton, sophomore out of Katy, Texas, averaging nearly 9.5 points per game. She had 13 points, 8 rebounds against the Gamecocks in November. First of 2 is good. 64% free throw shooter. It's just uncanny how poorly the Gamecocks have shot free throws here at home as of late. Second free throw also good. It's a 3-point lead for Texas. More of that full court pressure. 3:59 to play in the opening quarter. Get it into Agot McKeer. Gamecocks need a bucket here. No field goals in over 4 minutes. McKeer across the timeline. Around a screen to her left across the top of the circle. Drives into the lane. Had the ball ripped out of her hands by Justice Carlton. Turnovers stacking up for the Gamecocks here. And then we steal it right back. McKeer's got it. Misses the layup, but she's fouled underneath and will go to the line. Both teams giving it up a lot here in the first quarter. Gamecocks down 3. McKeer gave it away and then stole it right back. 9 turnovers between these two teams already. McKeer at the line hasn't been there often, only 69%, 11 out of 16. Gamecocks is 2 out of 4 from the stripe today. We're going to get Adel Tac into the contest, the sophomore from Grand Prairie, Texas, along with Maddie McDaniel, the sophomore guard from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Raven and Allie come out. Not a good start for the Gamecocks. Just 3 of 8 shooting for 38%. McKeer hits the first one for her first point. Gamecocks still without a field goal for nearly 4.5 minutes. McKeer missed the second one. My goodness. Gamecocks down 2, and they're 3 out of 6 from the foul line here in the first quarter. Coach said layups and free throws. We're not handling the free throw part very well. Feed it to Booker on the left baseline. Jumper is short from 8 feet. Rebound to Got McKeer, and the Gamecocks have it. Still trailing by 2. McKeer will get it across the timeline, dribbling across the top of the circle. Passes right to Edwards. It's been quiet today. Maddie McDaniel right side, back to Joyce. Takes an 18-footer, nowhere near. Bricked it off the back of the rim. Gamecocks not shooting it well for the second straight game. Here comes Harmon the other way. Left side to Booker. Steps into a long 3. No good. Fight for the rebound. Latson with a good box out there, and the Gamecocks have it. Still trailing 12-10 with 3 minutes to play here at Colonial Life Arena in the first quarter. Latson splitting a couple of defenders. Fumbles, recovers. Gets it out to Maddie McDaniel. To McKeer left side. McKeer wants someone to set a screen. Goes around it the other way. Shot clock down to 10. McKeer keeps it on the floor. Zips it to Latson. Saves it from going out of bounds to McDaniel. Back to Joyce Edwards. 3 seconds to shoot it. Drive, shoots, doesn't score. But she's fouled and will go to the line. Well, Gamecocks not getting good shots. They are getting to the free throw line. That's the good news. The bad news is they're not shooting it well from 15 feet. Just 3 out of 6. Trailing by 2. Gamecocks cannot afford to keep missing from 15 feet. Joyce Edwards at the line for the first time. 2 points for her so far tonight. Only a 63% foul shooter for the sophomore. And she hits the first one. One more time for Joyce. Second free throw rattles home, and we're tied at 12. 2:38 to play in the first quarter. Lori Harmon across the timeline. Fans want some defense here. Harmon around a screen to her right. McDaniel trying to stay with her. They get it to Booker on the baseline. Pull-up jumper, rolls off the rim, no good. Adel Tac had the rebound, and it squirts out to Maddie McDaniel. Then she loses the handle. It goes out of bounds off McDaniel. It'll be Texas ball. Gamecocks were screaming for a foul before that, didn't get it, as one of the Gamecocks was knocked to the floor on a screen, but didn't get the call. And Coach Staley's still furious about that. It'll be Texas ball on yet another Gamecock turnover. They'll bring it in baseline right side, tied at 12. Harmon to trigger it in. Gets it into Booker underneath the basket. She'll lay it up and in. She's fouled. Count the basket. Chance for a three-point play. And somebody didn't watch the scouting report. If you let the SEC Player of the Year get a layup underneath the basket off an inbound pass. 14-12. Texas leads with the follow-up free throw upcoming from Booker, who leads the SEC in free throws at 85%. 6 points already for Booker. She had 16 against the Gamecocks, along with 9 rebounds in their win on Thanksgiving. The follow-up free throw is good. 3-point lead for Texas. More full court pressure. We get it into Maddie. Gets past Rory Harmon. Gamecocks need a bucket. Down 3. McDaniel steams across the timeline. Drives in the lane. Lays it up. No good. Fights for her own rebound underneath the basket. Gets it up top to Joyce Edwards. Edwards will drive inside the lane. Pull-up jumper. Won't bank in. Rebound Rory Harmon. And the Gamecocks can't shoot on their own floor today. Under 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Gamecocks down 3. Texas with the ball. Gamecocks, no field goals in 6 minutes. They go inside to Oldacre. Puts it up off the window. No good, but she's fouled and will go to the line. Gamecocks got their subs in there, perhaps trying to wear down some of the Texas starters, but it's not effective right now. We'll get Madina Okot back in. Foul was on Adel Tac, her first. Joyce Edwards comes out. And Oldacre at the line, the 6'6 senior. With Texas already leading 15-12. Texas 5 for 5 from the free throw line tonight. Gamecocks 5 out of 8. We want to get Tessa Johnson back in. She'll pick up Latson. The Gamecocks, Tessa, Maddie, Agot, Adel, and Madina on the floor. Oldacre at the line. Free throw's no good. She'll get another crack at it. .66% free throw shooter is Oldacre. Gamecocks just 3 out of 11 from the floor. No field goals in over 6 minutes. Second free throw is good, and it's a 4-point lead, largest of the game for either team. We tried to inbound it, and Maddie lost it out of bounds. My goodness. They double-teamed Maddie. They inbounded to her, and she just fumbled it out of bounds, and the Gamecocks cannot handle the full-court press tonight. 6 turnovers by the Gamecocks, 2 in a row underneath their own basket. Texas already leading by 4, looking to make it more as they'll trigger it in the far corner. Here's Harmon left side. Gamecocks getting beat in all phases right now. Lucky to only be down 4. Here's Harmon dribbling right, guarded by McDaniel. They run their weave up top, passing left to Jordan Lee. Shot clock under 10. Lee up top to Booker. Swings it right side to Harmon. Harmon drives into the lane. Stops, pops, and drops it home for 2. And it's a 6-0 run to make it 18-12. Gamecocks trail, more of that full court pressure. Gamecocks have not handled it at all. We get it into Maddie. Gamecocks down 6. Haven't had a field goal in 6.5 minutes. 1:10 to play here in the first. Maddie works it right side to Tessa. Thought about the 3. Booker's in front of her. She'll drive instead. Kick out McKeer. Near corner 3. Rolls off the rim. No good. Couldn't get the rebound. Oldacre did a better job of it. Screened Madina Okot and comes away with it. Here comes Booker the other way. We tried to draw the charge. No whistle called. They're going to get a layup out of it, and it's 20-12. An 8-0 run by the Longhorns. Whistle away from the ball. It's the shot clock didn't wind. 46.8 seconds to play in the first quarter. And Gamecocks in a funk. An 8-0 run by Texas. Gamecocks without a field goal for over 7 minutes. Not a way to win on your home floor. Triggered into Maddie McDaniel. 45 seconds to play in the quarter. Got to get something going here. Texas taking control of this thing early. 15 on the shot clock. McDaniel around a screen, dribbling to her left. Guarded closely by Harmon. Shot clock down to 10. Maddie spins into the lane, floats it up, no good. Rebounded Adel Tac, puts it up, no good, but she's fouled and will go to the line. Well, the good news is the Gamecocks are getting chances at the line. The bad news is they haven't been good. 5 out of 8. Been 1 out of 2 every trip except the last time when Joyce hit them both. Adel Tac, the sophomore, has really struggled from the line. 51%, 19 out of 37. 27.9 seconds to play in the quarter, and she bricks the first one. My goodness. I promise they do practice these, but you wouldn't know it. No field goals for 7 minutes. Get a free throw there by Adel to make it 20-13. But the Longhorns can work for the final shot with the shot clock off here. Gamecocks down 20-13 here at Colonial Life Arena. The Longhorns taking the crowd out of it early. Gamecocks shooting just 23% from the floor. No field goals the last 7.5 minutes. Booker with 7 seconds to play, backing in on the far baseline. Feeds it to Harmon left side. Up top, wide open three for Sidbury. No good off the rim. They save it from run out of bounds, but that's how the quarter will end. 10 minutes in the books, all Texas in the first quarter. They lead South Carolina here at Colonial Life Arena 20-13. Hey parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of fentanyl and other drugs. And try short conversations, not one long talk. Because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. First quarter in the book, second quarter coming up after this. It's South Carolina women's basketball. Court pressure well at all. Madison Booker with 7 points to lead Texas. Rory Harmon has 6. For the Gamecocks, Tessa Johnson, Joyce Edwards with 4 points. But again, 3 for 13 shooting for the Gamecocks and no field goals the final 8 minutes of the first quarter. Reminder that for every Gamecock three-pointer made this season, Dominion Energy will donate $50 to Coach Dawn Staley's nonprofit Inner Soul, helping provide new sneakers to children in need. Dominion Energy, powering your every day. See if the Gamecocks can find the range here in the second quarter. You thought maybe after the poor shooting day against Georgia here on Sunday that the numbers would come back and the Gamecocks would shoot better on their home floor here tonight, but that has not been the case. 3 for 13 in the first quarter, and it'll be Texas ball to start. They went on an 8-0 run there, and the Gamecocks hit 1 out of 2 free throws to finally get a point late. Texas with the ball moving left to right. Gamecocks with their original starting 5 out there. Bounce pass to the right to Sidbury, guarded by Joyce Edwards. On the dribble, picks it up, needs help, shot clock halfway down. Not sure how that wasn't a 5 count. Between the rings it comes to Jordan Lee. Fumbles but recovers, shot clock down to 10. Handed off to Rory Harmon, guarded by Raven Johnson. Shot clock down to 5. Harmon around a screen from Oldacre to her right. Pulls up from the free throw line and buries it. No help defense, and the Gamecocks trail 22-13. Down 9 to silence this capacity crowd here. Just underway here in the third quarter. It feels like more than that. Here's Raven dribbling left. Tight man pressure by Rory Harmon. Not a whole lot of movement. Get it to Tessa Johnson. Drives, stops, pops. It won't drop. Or did drop. Hit high off the rim and bounced in. My goodness. Didn't think that had a prayer, and the Gamecocks finally get off the schneid as Tessa gets one to go. It's 22-15. Gamecocks down 7. Minute gone by in the second. That took a high carom off the rim and somehow came back down through the net. Booker, top of the circle, guarded by Tessa. Shot clock already down to 12. Whistle away from the ball. And on Texas, we have a lane violation. It was away from the ball. Gamecocks will have it on the turnover. See if the Gamecocks can take advantage of it and chip away at this 7-point deficit. Get it into Raven, guarded by Harmon. Gets it across the block C. Tight man-to-man pressure. Around a screen to her left, now back to her right. Raven fumbles but recovers. Trying to drive in the lane. Spins, shoots, scores! Raven Johnson makes it 22-17. Gamecocks within 5 with 8:25 to play in the second. That gets the crowd into it for the moment. Gamecocks down 5. Here they come the other way. Entry pass to Oldacre, knocked away, stolen by the Gamecocks. Tessa Johnson driving the lane, has her pocket picked by Rory Harmon. Just holding on to the ball too long. Work it left side to Booker. Booker driving across the lane to her right. Guarded by Raven as we match up man-to-man. Missed opportunity there. Gamecocks still down 5. 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Harmon up top, guarded by Tessa. Dribbling to her left, shot clock at 13. Back up top to Booker. Booker around a screen to her right. There's the illegal screen we were looking for earlier. Put the foul on Taya Sidbury, the senior from Salt Lake City, Utah. Transfer from Boston College, picked up the foul on the screen. Gamecocks wanted that earlier in the contest. Got it there. And Gamecocks will have it. Trailing by 5. Latson steams through a couple of defenders. Drive, shoot, scores. There's Tania Latson. And the Gamecocks within 3. 22-19 as Latson finally gets one to go. Her first field goal gets her 3 points. Crowd on its feet here. Here's Harmon across the timeline. Dribbling to her right. Pulls up from the right elbow. Got it. Goodness. Took a high carom off the rim and fell through the hole. Back to a 5-point lead for Texas. Latson cut off on the low block. Needs some help. Has to avoid getting it tied up. Feeds it to Okot, right elbow. 15-foot jumper. Got it. Banks it in, and the Gamecocks within 3. 24-21. Madina Okot showing some range there. She's got 4. 3 minutes gone by in the second. 24-21 Texas. Up top with it comes Lee as they run their weave, dribbling left. Hands it off to Sidbury, driving across the lane to her right. In the corner to Booker. Back to the top of the circle, dribbling left. Shot clock at 10. Lee drives in the lane, floats it up, no good. Rebound caroms out to Tessa Johnson. Gamecocks have it. She'll get it ahead to Raven. 6.5 minutes to play in the second. Gamecocks down 3. Raven dribbling across the top of the circle to her left. Into the lane, floats it high off the glass, no good, but she's fouled and will go to the line. Raven a little slow to get up. And that's the last thing you want to see with all the injuries the Gamecocks have had this year. Teammates will help her up on the baseline. Seems to be okay. Second foul on the Longhorns. They put it on Sidbury, her second as well. She'll come out in favor of Justice Carlton, the sophomore from Katy, Texas, and will send Raven to the line. Well, this is where it gets dicey. Gamecocks have really struggled tremendously from the free throw line. 6 out of 10 today, and Raven hits the first one. Raven on the year, 83%, now 25 out of 30. After that make, one more crack at it here. Hits them both, and the Gamecocks within 1 at 24-23. 6:25 to play in the second quarter. Here comes Texas. Crowd getting loud again. Up top, it comes to Lee. Carolina was down 9. They work it left side. Harbin baseline jumper is good. Boy, she is good. And the lead back up to 3 at 26-23. Harmon having a big first half. She's got a dozen points already on 5 of 6 shooting. She has been unstoppable, has the point guard. 6 minutes to play in the second. Gamecocks down 3. Raven Johnson across the timeline playing traffic cop. Clock is already down to 13 on the shot clock. To Latson, top of the circle. Tania steps back into a 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound Tessa on the other side. Finds Raven right side. Raven, stop and go dribble. Hop step in the lane. Banks it up, no good. Rebound Joyce Edwards has her shot blocked. Rebound Madina Okot. And Madina threw it into next week. Oh my. Madina Okot got the rebound, tried to clear it back out, and threw it 6 feet over the nearest Gamecock's head. Gamecocks really making some boneheaded mistakes here in the first half with passes like that. 8 turnovers in the first half, averaging only 12 a game. Gamecocks still down 3, but Texas with the ball looking to add to it after we cut a 9-point deficit down to 1. Here's Lee dribbling right, guarded by Latson. Passes right to Harmon, and she walked with it. Yes, she did, finally. She flirts with the travel every time she touches the ball, but they give her the benefit of the doubt. And they had to call that travel. She pancakes it mightily. They don't call that as often these days. They let her get away with a lot. And the Gamecocks just turned it over again. They were switching who was going to bring the ball into play, and Joyce Edwards and Raven wanted to switch, and she handed the ball to Raven while she was stepping onto the floor when she was already handed the ball by the official. I don't know where the Gamecocks' head is today, but it's not locked in. That is a very careless turnover. Texas with the ball, jumper left side is good, and you gave him 2 points. Jordan Lee with the bucket makes it 28-23. My goodness, Gamecocks could not make this many poor decisions and expect to come out with a win tonight. Down 5 midway through the second quarter. Raven's got to give it up, being hounded by Harmon. Comes around a screen to her left. Throws it inside to Madina Okot. Beats her man and lays it in. Got a switch that we wanted. Gets the Gamecocks within 3 at 28-25. Needed that. 6 points for Madina Okot. Gamecocks down 3, 4:43 to play. As poorly as they've played, it's a one-possession game. Up top it comes to Carlton. Work it left side to Booker. Feeds it inside to Oldacre. Beats her man, but shot blocked by Joyce Edwards. Long lead pass to Tessa, and we threw it away again. Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside. Gamecocks got a block when they threw it down, looking for a transition bucket, and threw it into the baseline. Another turnover. 28-25. Texas leads with 4.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Hey, Signorama is your one-stop shop to grow your business. They design, print, and sign 3. Moving left to right, here we go. Preston across the timeline for the Longhorns, dribbling left, guarded by Raven in the man-to-man. Gets it up top, Jordan Lee. Pulls it back to the top of the circle. Offensive foul again called on Texas. Second time they've been whistled for that. And Coach Staley must have got a bug in their ear early after it wasn't called, because we've gotten 2 called this quarter. Carolina has it, facing full court pressure. Got to come back to the basketball, get it into Raven. She'll hand it off to Joyce. Nobody guarding her yet. And she'll bring it across the block C. Now you got to settle into your offense. Joyce trying to drive into the lane. Goes right into the teeth of a double team. It'll be tied up, held ball. Possession will stay with South Carolina, but again, that's another mistake by Joyce Edwards. Dribbled right into a double team with the ball in front. You can do that if you're backing in, but you can't present the ball right to the 2 defenders like that. Gamecocks will bring it in, baseline right side. 17 on the shot clock. Raven almost threw it away on the inbounds. It goes out of bounds into the Texas bench. It'll be Carolina ball. Carolina just not sharp. Tenaya will bring it in front of the Texas bench. Gamecocks down 3. Gamecocks, if you're just joining us, went 8 minutes in the first quarter without a field goal. Tenaya will bring it in. Lee doing jumping jacks in front of her. And we almost throw it away, but Joyce able to collect it on the other side. Edwards trying to back her way in this time on Carlton. Spins, shoots, missed it badly. Rebound to Texas. Nowhere close. Here come the Longhorns. Under 4 minutes to play. 3-point lead for Texas here in the second quarter. Work it right side to Jordan Lee. Guarded by Latson in the man-to-man. Dribbling left. Hands it off left side to Carlton. Running the weave. Bumped by Joyce. She drives the lane left side. Pull up off the window. Won't go down, but they get the rebound on the other side. And the layup is good as nobody boxed out Brea Cunningham. Back to a 5-point lead for Texas. Almost throw it away again in the backcourt, but the Gamecocks get it back. My goodness. South Carolina not handling the pressure well, in addition to their own self-inflicted mistakes. Raven gets it across the timeline. Tight pressure by Preston. Drives to the free throw line. Pulls up from 15. Left it short. Rebound Texas. My goodness. Nothing going down for the Gamecocks today. Texas looking to build on a 5-point lead with 3:05 to play in the second quarter. Lee passes left to Preston. Driving into the lane. Kicks it out right side as they run their weave. Fumbling but recovering as Carlton gets it off left side to Lee. She'll drive into the lane. Knifing her way in. Puts it off the window. No good, but she's fouled and will go to the line. Every time you feel like the Gamecocks have gotten a little rhythm to get back in it, not so much. Shooting just 35%. Haven't scored in over 2 minutes. Texas, meanwhile, shooting 50% from the floor. We'll get Agot McKeer, Maddie McDaniel, and Ali Tournebize back in. Johnson and Johnson out, along with Adel. At the free throw line, Jordan Lee to try to add this 5-point lead. Lee hits the first one. Sophomore from Stockton, California. Named to the SEC All-Freshman team last year. Former McDonald's High School All-American. 76% from the stripe, averaging 15 points per game. Hits both free throws here, and it's back to a 7-point lead at 32-25. And Coach Dawn Staley is going to burn a timeout. It's a 30, so we'll keep it right here. Remind you, the Gamecocks are the best when it comes to basketball. Terminex is the best when it comes to pest control. Headquartered right here in South Carolina, Terminex has been trusted for 75 years to keep your homes and businesses. Gamecocks with Latson, McKeer, McDaniel, Tournebize, and Edwards on the floor. Have to go the length of the floor. And Texas not showing their full court pressure this time. A little surprised. Maddie McDaniel will bring it up. Need a bucket here. Latson trying to drive in the paint. Kicks it back up top to Joyce Edwards. They collapse well whenever the Gamecocks drive. Work it near side to Latson. Tenaya lobs it in on the roll to Edwards. Zips it across to Agot McKeer, far corner. Shot clock down to 10. Feed it inside to Edwards on the low block. Spins, shoots, doesn't score. Gets a rebound on the other side. Backs up, puts it up, misses again from point-blank range. Rebound to the Longhorn. Got 2 well-contested shots underneath the basket. Couldn't knock down either one of them. and the struggles continue. 2:15 to play in the half. Gamecocks down 7. Texas again looking to take control of this game. Here's Preston left side. And they're doing it right now without most of their starters on the floor of the Longhorns. Work it left side to Preston, and she walked with it. Gamecocks will have it on another turnover. That's 9 turnovers for Texas. Make it 10. So these two teams have combined for 20 turnovers in 18 minutes of play. Full court pressure. Latson will bring it up. Gamecocks still down 7. Latson driving the lane. Needs some help. Up top to Joyce Edwards. Edwards dribbling across right side. Hands it back to McKeer. Agot McKeer tries to drive the baseline. Floats it up and in. Agot McKeer with the bucket. And the Gamecocks cut the deficit 32-27. 1:38 to play in the first half. Could use a stop here. Here come the Longhorns. Run their weave. Pass it left side to Booker. Guarded by McKeer. Shot clock at 14. Gets a screen. Comes around it to the top of the circle. Feed it right side. Stolen by Tania Latson. Latson racing down the floor. One girl to beat. She will lay it up and in. And the Gamecocks get within 3 at 32-29. Gamecocks needed that. That gets the crowd back into it. It's a one-possession game with 1:10 to play. The mini 5-0 run. Driving left side is Preston. Drives, kicks it out right side, throws it away. Gamecocks will have it on the turnover. My goodness, now Texas is imploding with turnovers. Gamecocks will have it, and right on cue, they'll get their point guard back in, Rory Harmon, to try to settle things down after back-to-back turnovers. Carolina ball trailing by 3 with 1:03 to play in the second quarter. Someone's got to come back to the basketball. Full court pressures. We get it into Maddie McDaniel. McDaniel will bring it across the block C. Guarded closely by Lee. Now she backs up as she dribbles to her left. Tight man-to-man coverage here. McDaniel dribbling to her right. Hop step in the lane. Puts it high off the glass. Nowhere near. And a rebound to Texas and a foul on Tournebize underneath as she hooked the arm of one of the Longhorns. That's 2 fouls on Tournebize. It'll give it back to Texas. Just the second team foul with 45.9 seconds to play in the second quarter. Longhorns will try to make it a 2-possession game again. Gamecocks keep coming off the deck but can't get over the hump. Harmon dribbling right. Now back to her left across the top of the circle. Passes inside to Jordan Lee. Wraparound pass knocked free, but they recover. Shot clock at 15. Harmon driving in the lane. Cut off. Ball stolen away by Tania Latson. One-on-one the other way. Drives, shoots, doesn't score, but she's fouled by Jordan Lee. Will go to the line, and that is 3 fouls on Jordan Lee. With 22.8 seconds to play. Gamecocks down 3, a chance to get closer here. Tania Latson with her second steal of the quarter. She's just 1 out of 2 from the line. Normally a very good free throw shooter at 83%, which is 3rd in the league. Gamecocks have not shot it well from 15 feet today, just 8 out of 12. And another miss by Latson. You get the one you want at the line and can't get it to go. Unbelievable. Second free throw is good, and the Gamecocks within 2 at 32-30. 20 seconds to play in the half. The Longhorns can work for the final shot and try to make it a 2-possession game. It has not been a pretty first half for South Carolina on either end of the floor, but they're still in it. Harmon up top to Carlton, driving the lane left side. Knocked out of her hands. Edwards comes out of there with it. Feeds it ahead to Agot McKeer. One girl to beat. She blows the layup. Rebound Edwards on the other side. Lays it up no good, but she's fouled at the buzzer. They're going to wait and see if there was still time on the clock. Blew the layup. It was well contested, but a whistle. And the Gamecocks should be shooting free throws here. Let's see if they're going to review, and I believe they will. There'll be another Cool Care official review. Call Cool Care Heating, Air, and Plumbing to schedule your official preventive maintenance for the season. Did you know regular maintenance can extend the life of your equipment, reduce utility costs, and improve your indoor air quality? Cool Care is the most awarded HVAC and plumbing company in the Midlands. Call the best Cool Care. Locally owned and operated for 25 years. So they'll review this. And it looked like the foul did occur on Joyce Edwards before the clock expired. Maybe with 0.1 seconds to go. Gamecocks down 2 with actually a chance to tie it if they make 2 free throws, which is very iffy. Again, the Gamecocks only 9 out of 14 from the line tonight. With all the chances they've had, could very well be going into the locker room with their lead. Not shooting well from the floor overall. Gamecocks does 10 out of 29 for 34%. Texas shooting 50% from the floor. and 8 out of 9 from the free throw line, but a lot of turnovers for both teams.
The Texas foul by Orange 35 was committed with 0.2
All right, they put the foul on Madison Booker.
Right 8 will shoot 2 free throws.
Her first, and they'll put 0.2 seconds on the clock, but the important thing is you got to make the free throws here. So it'll be Joyce Edwards at the stripe, who's had a tough first half. This is 1 out of 8 from the floor. Credit Texas defense with some of that. They have made it difficult and uncomfortable. Joyce hits the first one. One more time to try to tie it before we go to the half. Second free throw. Yes, ma'am, and we're tied at 32. Texas will just inbound it, and that'll do it in the first half. Gamecocks were down 9 with a heap of turnovers, a lot of mental mistakes, but they've come off the deck to tie it literally in the final second as the two teams head to the locker room. 32-32 in this top 5 showdown here at the intermission. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with just a moment. We'll start our halftime report after this. You're listening to South Carolina Women's Basketball on the Gamecock Sports Network from there. Back at Colonial Life Arena, we're at halftime. South Carolina and Texas all tied at 32 in this top 5 showdown. Kind of an ugly first half. We'll talk more about that in the first half, but the good news is the Gamecocks obviously still in the game as they close the first half on a 7-0 run to knot things up at 32 as they Krantz cooling and heating hot streak to close out the first half. Your comfort is our victory. Keep comfortable with Krantz. Now, fans, let's take a look at the Beatbox College scoreboard with scores from around women's college basketball tonight. Beatbox, the original party punch, now for sale at Colonial Life Arena. Well, you start getting into the time when teams have byes. Only 5 games in SEC play tonight in action. They're in the fourth. 4 points for Raven Johnson, 3 for Agot McKeer, 1 for Adel Tac to round out South Carolina's scoring. We're tied at 32 in this top 5 showdown. We'll take our final timeout. Come back with the start of the third quarter right after this. You're listening to South Carolina Women's Basketball on the Gamecock Sports Network from there. And we welcome you back to Colonial Life Arena. A packed house here in Columbia. In this top 5 showdown, South Carolina and Texas all square at 32. Reminder, parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of fentanyl and other drugs. And try short conversations, not one long talk, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. Let's see if the Gamecocks can overcome the mistakes they made in the first half. A lot of turnovers by both teams. Poor shooting by the Gamecocks for the second straight game. Let's hope they can find the range here in the second half in this top 5 showdown. A win puts the Gamecocks 2 games up on Texas early in SEC play as Texas coming off their loss at LSU the other day. A win by Texas leaves the door wide open. Gamecocks in their home whites, Texas in their burnt orange. Original starting 5 on the floor for Carolina. Raven and Tessa Johnson, Tania Latson, Joyce Edwards, Madina Okot. It's been tough for the Gamecocks bigs here today. Madina Okot does have 6 points, just haven't been able to get her the ball. Joyce Edwards is 1 out of 8 from the floor. Texas ball to start the third quarter, moving right to left in their burnt orange towards us here in the corner. And we're underway as Harmon will bring it up on Raven. Gets it across the block C. Bounce pass to the left to Booker. Guarded by Tessa. Comes around a screen to her right. Dumps it on the pick and roll. Wide open under the basket is Brea Cunningham, and they get a layup to take the lead. And the Gamecocks had no clue how to handle the pick and roll there. Nobody guarded Cunningham after the pick, and she had an uncontested layup. Gamecocks trail. Raven hemmed on the right sideline, gets it up top to Tania Latson, drives the lane left side, puts it up and in on the layup, and we're tied at 34. Going to need more of that from Tania. She's got 8 points. Both teams score on their opening possessions here to start things. Harmon across the timeline, guarded by Raven, dribbling to her left. Up top it comes to Jordan Lee, guarded by Latson. Works it right side to Booker. Pulls up from the free throw line. Off the rim, no good. Rebound to Madina Okot. The Gamecocks have it. Raven quickly across the timeline. Still tied at 34. Minute gone by here. Up top, work it right side to Tessa. Spots up for 3 right wing. Bang! Got it. And the Gamecocks have their first lead since early in the first quarter. It's the Dominion Energy 3 powering your every day. Second 3 by Tessa Johnson, 41st of the year. And the Gamecocks lead 37-34. That got the crowd back into it. Tessa Johnson with 9 points. Only the second three she's attempted today. She's made them both. Here come the Longhorns the other way. Gamecocks up by 3. Dribbling right, Booker around a screen. Pulls up from the free throw line. Got it. Got the friendly roll off the front of the rim. Lead cut to 1 at 37-36. Booker with 9 points, the reigning SEC Player of the Year. Raven on the left side, trying to drive to the top of the circle. Guarded by Harmon in the man-to-man. Still has it on the floor. Bumped, goes up, and foul's going to be called on Harmon. No. They're going to call it for a lane. Did they call a lane violation? Yeah, they must have called a lane violation. Thought we got a foul, not doing it. And it'll be a turnover. Gives it back to the Longhorns with a chance to reclaim the lead. Too many of those tonight. Here's Lee, top of the circle, guarded by Latson. Feeds it left side to Harmon on the baseline. On the dribble now, back towards the top of the circle. Raven trying to stay with her. Comes around the screen to her right, back to her left. Pulls up from the free throw line, missed it. And she tracks down the rebound on the other side after Tessa Johnson couldn't pull it down. Went off her fingertips. Texas with the basketball. Here's Jordan Lee. Around a screen to her right, working on Latson. Spins to her left, puts it up, no good. They get the rebound, stick back is good. Gamecocks getting dominated on the boards here. In the early going of the third quarter, Texas reclaims the lead 38-37. We had a white jersey there, couldn't get it. Backdoor cut by Denai Latson. She'll lay it up and in. Great feed from Raven, and the Gamecocks reclaim the lead 39-38. Latson found another gear on the back door. She's in double figures with 10. 7:10 to play here in the third quarter. A 1-point lead for the Gamecocks. Here's Jordan Lee up top, guarded by Latson. Dribbling to her right, feeds it right corner to Harmon. Looking inside, lobs it into Cunningham, or rather Carlton. Drives in the lane, fade away, no good. Rebound to the Gamecocks. Joyce Edwards comes out of there with it. Edwards driving the lane, kicks it out left side to Raven, and they're going to get Joyce on the continuation after the pass for an offensive foul. After she passed, apparently she hurt someone's feelings on the continuation, and it'll be called an offensive foul. Another turnover, gives it back. 12 turnovers by the Gamecocks today. That's their season average, and we still have 6:45 to play in the third quarter. Gamecocks with a 1-point lead, Texas with the ball. Harmon dribbling left, gives it up top to Carlton. Now right side, Lee to Booker as they run their weave. Booker passes left to Harmon, shot clock down to 10. Harmon on the left wing, guarded by Raven. Comes around a screen, Raven goes underneath it. Work it right side, Booker for 3 for the lead, missed it short. Okot had the rebound, had it taken away. Just can't seem to get a board. Lee drives, feeds it underneath, ball knocked out of bounds off the Longhorns. Carolina ball. Caught a break there. Gamecocks look like they're in position to get a rebound, but the Longhorns still able to take it away more times than not here in the third quarter. Gamecocks lead is just 1. Full court pressure. How is that not a foul in the backcourt? Raven gets away from Rory Harmon after she was pushed. Gets it off left side. Latson for 3. Left wing. Missed it short. Gets her own rebound in the corner. Drives the baseline. Goes too far into the cone. Reverse layup is good. 3-point lead at 41-38. Tania Latson with a big third quarter. She's got a dozen points. 3-point lead with 5:54 to play in the third. My goodness, Latson found herself too far on the drive underneath the basket. Thought about it for a second. Got the reverse layup to go. Here come the Longhorns the other way. Harmon dribbling right, guarded by Raven. Shot clock at 10. Up top it comes to Carlton. Feed it inside. Ball knocked away. Tessa Johnson comes out of there with it, and she's fouled. Good pressure to knock that entry pass away, and then Tessa Johnson picked up the trash and got the foul. First team foul on the Longhorns. That'll be, I believe, on Carlton. That's 2 on her. Carolina ball leading by 3. That's been their largest lead tonight, is just 3 points. They've trailed by as many as 9. Here's Raven Johnson, top of the circle. Feeds it right corner. Tania Latson to Tessa, right wing for 3. Air ball. Goodness. Well, Tessa hadn't missed tonight before that one, and she missed badly there. It hit all 3 of her shots, and 2 for 2 from 3-point range, and got a good look there, and she missed it wide left. Pulled to Norwood. 41-38. Gamecocks lead is 3, but Texas with the basketball. Approaching the midpoint of the third quarter. Harmon dribbling right. Raven trying to stay with her. Looking inside is Harmon. Had someone open, couldn't get it to her. Now up top, Booker around a screen to hit her left. Pulls up from the left elbow, buried it. And it's 41-40, the lead down to 1. Madison Booker so tough. Here come the Gamecocks the other way. Tessa, far corner, can't pull the trigger. We'll work it around the perimeter instead. Here's Latson right side. Booker now with 9 points, or rather 11 points. We go underneath to Madina Okot. Tries to go up. Power dribble and lost the handle. She has to just go straight up. Every time she puts it on the floor in traffic, she turns it over. Chance for Texas to reclaim the lead. Harmon driving, pulls up right elbow. Won't go down. Okot with the rebound, and the Gamecocks have it. Still leading by 1 at 41-40. Latson driving in the lane, and she threw it away. Tried a behind-the-back pass, and no one there but an orange jersey. Getting ugly again. Here come the Longhorns the other way. These two teams have combined for 30 turnovers. 4:20 to play in the third. Texas with the ball. They feed it to Lee, driving the lane, rolls it up, no good, but she's fouled and will go to the line when we come back. 4:15 to play in the third. South Carolina leading Texas 41-40. Hey, with Hardee's Original Bag, you choose two full-size favorites plus fries and a drink for just $5.99. Go charbroiled and crunchy, saucy and cheesy, or mix it up if you're looking to save. Free throw line. Texas will be at the line for a pair. It'll be Jordan Lee, a sophomore from Stockton, California. 76% free throw shooter. 2 for 2 tonight, has 6 points. On the floor for the Gamecocks, Edwards and Raven stay on. Adel Tac, Agot McKeer, Maddie McDaniel checked in during that timeout. Just joining us, Alicia Tournebize played in the first half. The native of France in her first action as a Gamecock. And Lee hits the first free throw to tie us up, and she'll try to give the Longhorns the lead with another make here. They have made their free throws 9 out of 10. Make it 10 out of 11 as she hits them both, and Texas reclaims the lead 42-41. Quiets the crowd for the moment. Raven will get it across. Guarded by Lee. Dribbling to her left. Passes to Joyce, who's had a tough game today, shooting-wise. Joyce trying to create, driving in the lane right side. Puts it off the window, right on cue. And the Gamecocks reclaim the lead 43-42. She was just 1 out of 8 from the floor before that one. She gets it to go, has 8 points. 3:50 to play in the third. Here comes Harmon the other way. Gamecocks lost to Texas in Las Vegas on Thanksgiving. Shot at the buzzer by Harmon. 66-64. Offensive foul in the paint called against Texas. Third time they've been called for that tonight as Adel Tac drew the foul on one of their bigs. It'll be Carolina ball. See who they put it on. Gamecocks have the ball with a 1-point lead. I think it's going to be on Jordan Lee. If so, that's 4 on her. Full court pressure by Texas, and they've had a lot of success with this here tonight. Joyce will trigger it in. They don't guard her. Gives them an extra defender in the court of play. Long pass to no one in particular. Raven won't be able to track it down. And I just don't know what they're thinking. Joyce threw it down the length of the floor, hoping someone would catch up to it, but it was nowhere close. It was closer to Dawn Staley than anybody wearing a white jersey. And that is another turnover by the Gamecocks, and Joyce has had several on inbound passes today. She has had a tough day. So Texas gets the ball back. Carolina's lead is just 1. Harmon will bring it in, baseline right side. They get it into Booker. Pulls up from 12 feet and buries it from the right side, and Texas reclaims the lead 44-43. Gamecocks inbound quickly, so Texas can't set up this time. And it'll be Edwards to get it across along the far sideline. She'll hand it off to Raven. Gamecocks down 1 here after yet another turnover. Raven dribbling right, tries to drive the baseline, floats it up, rolls off the rim, no good. It was a perfect drive on the baseline, and for whatever reason, it didn't go down. Texas with the rebound, they want to run. Booker feeds it inside. They get it into one of their big girls. Shot up, no good by Cunningham. Rebound to Adel Tac, and the Gamecocks have it. Big rebound by the sophomore. Gamecocks still down 1 with 3 minutes to play in the third. Here's McDaniel to McKeer right side, the freshman. On the dribble now, trying to create into the lane. Floats it up and in. She's fouled. Count the basket. Chance for a 3-point play. And the Gamecocks reclaim the lead, 45-44. My goodness. 8 lead changes in this game. And it'll be McKeer at the line for the and 1. The freshman with 5 points, 1 out of 2 from the free throw line today. Only a 69% free throw shooter counting in. That's what the Gamecocks have shot at tonight, 69%. Follow-up free throw is good, and it's a 2-point lead at 46-44. Texas will bring it up. 2:50 to play in the third. Booker gets it across, left side to Preston. Raven Johnson picks her up in the man-to-man. Shot clock at 15. Comes around a screen to her right. Passes right to Harmon. Harmon drives to the free throw line. 14-footer, rolls in for two. She is so tough off the dribble, and we're tied at 46. Raven looking to get it in. Long lead pass to Agot Makir. Beats her defender, Booker, who fell down, and she will lay it up and in. And the Gamecocks reclaim the lead, 48-46. Good look by Raven. They switched it instead of having Joyce trigger it in. Raven triggered it in and saw that Madison Booker was stumbling, and Makir got an uncontested layup. She's got 8 points, 2-point lead for the Gamecocks. Here's Preston driving the lane, kicks it out to Booker, and Booker's going to be fouled by Agot Makir. Be the third team foul on the Gamecocks. First foul on Makir. 2:01 to play in the third in this top five showdown. These two teams met 4 times last year, with the Gamecocks winning 3 out of 4, including the SEC Tournament Championship and in the national semifinal. Both teams split the regular season meetings on their home floor. Going to have another foul on the Gamecocks here on the inbound. Going to put that on Adel Tac. Tac will pick up her second. Coach Daly says don't worry about it. Harmon to trigger it in. Got to hurry to avoid the 5 count. Got it into Madison Booker. Booker guarded by Raven. On the dribble now. Trying to create some separation. We go for the steal, don't get it. Pass it off to Harmon. Pulls up from the baseline. Too strong, but they get the rebound on the other side. Follow-up shot blocked by Adel Tac, and that's going to be a held ball. She put it right back where it came from. Back into the hands of Brea Cunningham. And the possession arrow favors the Gamecocks. What a play by Adel Tac. Tonight, Latson in, Raven Johnson out for the moment. 1:47 to play in the third. Gamecocks leading 48-46. Full court pressure again by Texas. Latson will be the trigger woman. They don't guard her. We get it into Joyce. Joyce will get it across the timeline. Trying to blow past Harmon, and there's a hand check foul on Rory Harmon. She picks up her first. 4th team foul on Texas. With 1:42 to play in the third. Team fouls are even at 4 apiece. Gamecocks will bring it in on the sideline in front of their own bench. Just a 2-point lead. Largest lead for Carolina tonight, just 3. Largest lead for Texas was 9. Makir gets it into McDaniel. And we're back underway. Now Latson between the rings, guarded by Harmon, trying to dribble right. Trying to back into the lane, kicks it out left side and threw it away. Oh my goodness. Threw it into the front row. 16 turnovers by the Gamecocks. This is getting ridiculous. Cunningham out, big 6'6" Kyla Oldacre in for Texas. Gamecocks just can't find a way to make it a 2-possession game. Texas with a chance to tie or take the lead here. 1:25 to play in the third. Preston dribbling right, passes to Harmon as they run their weave up top. Now Booker guarded by Makir, the freshman. Shot clock at 15. Passes right to Harmon. Guarded by Latson, whistle away from the ball. Another offensive foul. Drawn by Adel Tac again on Kyla Oldacre. And Vic Schaefer not happy about it. That is the 4th or 5th offensive foul called on Texas tonight. See if the Gamecocks can turn it into points. Leading by just 2 with 1:15 to play. That's twice Adel Tac has drawn the foul. Latson to trigger it in. Gets it into Makir. Guarded by Preston in the backcourt. Had the ball poked free, but recovers. Somebody needs to come back and help her. And they're going to get Makir for an offensive foul. Crowd doesn't like it. Texas known for their flopping, but may have been a good call there. Yep, Makir threw the elbow to send her sprawling. And that gives it back to Texas with a chance to tie or take the lead. Get it to Harmon up top, guarded by Latson. Dribbling to her right. Passes in the corner to Booker. Booker, defender fell down, pulls up for 3, got it. Madison Booker, just her 11th three-pointer of the year. Texas reclaims the lead, 49-48, as the defender had fallen down. Long lead pass to Latson, and she can't save it from going out of bounds. That is the 3rd time tonight the Gamecocks have tried to throw a 94-foot pass and threw it 96 feet. Turnover gives it back to Texas, who leads at 49-48. The decision-making and the execution has been horrendous tonight for South Carolina, yet it's still a 1-point game. Both teams have committed 18 turnovers. For South Carolina, it's been a lot of that. 35 seconds to play in the quarter. Here's Oldacre trying to drive, spins in the paint. Shot rejected again by Adel Tac. They're going to call another held ball. Unfortunately, this favors Texas as they have it on the alternating possession arrow. If they just called it a true block, the Gamecocks would have had the rebound. That is twice Adel Tac has done that tonight, as well as drawing 2 offensive fouls. So Texas will have it. 30 seconds to play in the quarter, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Texas's lead is 1. Harmon to bring it in, baseline right side. Got to hurry to avoid the 5 count. How is that not a 5 count? There it is. Great defense by the Gamecocks, force a turnover as Harmon couldn't get it in before the 5 count. Carolina ball, down 1, 30.3 seconds to play in the third quarter. Now you got to inbound facing full court pressure. Latson, the trigger woman. 0.3 of a second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. So in theory, the Gamecocks could work for the final shot, but you got to inbound it first. Get it into Joyce Edwards. Edwards will get it across, blows past Carlton. Now the Gamecocks will settle into their half court. Tight man-to-man coverage. We get it off to Latson. We'll try to dribble the clock down. Down to 15 seconds. Latson guarded by Harmon just across the timeline. Now it's under 10 seconds. Latson, top of the circle, feeds it to Edwards right side. She'll drive the baseline. Kick it out to McDaniel. Far corner, McKeer for 3. Hit the side of the backboard. That may have been, nope, was not partially blocked. The fans underneath the basket were claiming that was blocked by Texas and should be Carolina ball. And now they will agree with that. So it will be Carolina ball. The block send it into the side of the backboard. 0.8 seconds to play, 0.5 on the shot clock. Lob it into Joyce, throws it up at the buzzer, no good. And that's how the third quarter will end. Texas leads 49-48 as we head to the fourth quarter here at Colonial Life Arena. Hey parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of fentanyl and other drugs. Try short conversations, not one long talk, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversations. See if the Gamecocks can find a way. They lost to the Longhorns on a buzzer beater in Las Vegas back on Thanksgiving, 66-64. On the floor to start the fourth quarter, Raven Johnson, Tania Latson, Joyce Edwards, Agot McKeer, Adel Tac. Tac getting a lot of minutes tonight. It'll be Carolina ball moving left to right to start the fourth. We're underway. Raven will bring it up on Preston. Tight man-to-man coverage. I'm not calling the two-touch foul here tonight. Here's Joyce Edwards left side. Around a screen, can't do much with it. She has had her struggles. She'll take an 18-footer and missed it short. Edwards just 2 for 10 from the floor. Here comes Booker the other way, racing down to the low block. Edwards cuts her off. It's been a tough day for Joyce offensively. They lob it inside to Oldacre. The big girl working against Adel Tac. Puts it up no good, but they get the rebound and lay it up and in as Justice Carlton gets the bucket. We have not rebounded well. We almost turned it over there in the backcourt. It's 51-48. Got to get it across. Raven Johnson has it. We have not handled their pressure well. Gamecocks down 3, 9:15 to play. Raven driving right side, pulls it back out. Up top to Joyce. Work it left side to Agot McKeer. Steps back into a three-pointer, rolls off the rim, no good, and a rebound, Rory Harmon. Rebounds have been almost even, but it feels like Texas has dominated at times. One shot and out. Texas trying to make it a two-possession game. Ball knocked free by Joyce Edwards, and then a foul is going to be called on Madison Booker. That actually prevented a layup as she knocked Joyce Edwards to the floor. Otherwise, the Gamecocks were going to get a layup the other way. Agot McKeer out, Tessa Johnson in. Foul on Booker is her second. Gamecock ball facing full court pressure once again. Get it into Raven, and we're underway. Carolina down 3, under 9 minutes to play. Raven gets it across the timeline. Dribbling right side, trying to stay out of a double team. Now to her left, into the lane. Puts it off the window for 2. Raven Johnson makes it a one-point game, 51-50. Raven with 6 points, just her second field goal of the night. Need to stop here, 8.5 minutes to play. Crowd imploring the Gamecocks to get a defensive stop. Harmon using the off arm to create separation, but they're letting it go. Guarded by Latson, shot clock at 13. Comes around a screen from Oldacre. Feeds it to Oldacre on the roll inside, working against Adel Tac, and she puts it in for 2 that time. Back to a 3-point lead at 53-50. Adel was late getting over there on the pick and roll. Adel gets the ball off to Joyce Edwards. She'll finally get it across. Gamecocks have not handled this full court pressure well today. Here's Tessa left side. Gamecocks down 3. Tries to drive across the baseline, floats it up and in. They're going to call an offensive foul on Tessa. Are you kidding me? Gamecock fans thought it was an and one, but they were going to call it an offensive foul on Tessa Johnson. Rory Harmon is the queen of drawing charges, but that was actually Oldacre who drew the charge there. Fans don't like it. Bang, bang play, and instead of a potential 3-point play for the Gamecocks, it gives it back to Texas, still leading by 3. 7:55 to play in this one. Need another stop here. Harmon across the timeline, dribbling towards the Texas bench, started by Latson. Comes around a screen to her right, pulls up from the free throw line, no good. Rebound, Madina Okot, and the Gamecocks have it. Get it across to Raven. Need a bucket here, down 3. Raven, top of the circle, guarded by Preston, tight man-to-man. Dribbling to her left. Feeds it underneath to Joyce Edwards. Has her shot blocked from behind by Oldacre, but they're going to get her for a foul. Oldacre whistled for the foul. That's 3 on her. And that'll put the Gamecocks at the line to try to cut into this 3-point deficit. Heck of an entry pass there by Raven to Joyce. Now you got to make the free throws. Edwards with 8 points tonight, but on 2 of 10 shots from the field. Justice Carlton out. And checking in, Ashton Judd, a 6'1 senior from West Plains, Missouri, who transferred after 3 years at Mizzou. Edwards hits the first free throw. Makes it 53-51. One more, got it. And Edwards is 6 for 6 from the foul line tonight. Gamecocks within 1. 7:25 to play. Edwards now in double figures with 10. Here's Preston across the timeline. They'll work it right side to Harmon. Dribbling left across the top of the circle, guarded by Raven. Now to Booker, guarded by Tessa. Shot clock at 13. Around a screen from Oldacre. Pulls up from the elbow and buries it. Nice stroke there. Back to a 3-point lead. They're getting buckets when they need them. Get it into Madina Okot. Somebody please come get it from her. She picks up the dribble. Gets it to Joyce Edwards in the backcourt. She's fouled by Judd. 60 feet from the basket. 3rd team foul on Texas, first on Judd. Gamecocks will have it. Madison Booker having a good game. She's got 18 points, 8 of 15 shooting. We almost turn it over on the inbound pass again. Got to get it across. Raven finally does across the far sideline. In the 5 previous games with Texas in the last year. Here's Tessa Johnson, right wing 3. Bang! Got it, and we're tied. 3rd 3-pointer for Tessa Johnson. That's the Dominion Energy 3, powering her every day. We're tied at 55 as Tessa Johnson dials long distance. She's got a dozen points. And this place is going bananas. Here's Judd left side into the corner. Picks up the dribble, needs help. Gets it off to Harmon with 12 to shoot it. Dribbling right. Now Booker driving against Tessa. Pulls up from 16. Missed it short. Rebound Joyce Edwards, and the Gamecocks have it. 6:10 to play. Gamecocks trying to rally and take the lead. We're tied at 55. Finishing thought on Booker. The 5 games, most recent games with Texas, Booker shot only 32% combined. She's shooting over 50% here tonight. Here's Raven Johnson driving into the lane. Fadeaway jumper. In and out, no good. Madina Okot had it, lost it. It went off Texas out of bounds. Oh, they're going to say it went off Madina out of bounds. Again, we're about 150 feet away from it. I thought one of the Longhorns had touched it last, but apparently not. Gamecocks might consider reviewing that. Texas ball, 5:52 to play. We're tied at 55. Not enough time to look at a replay, apparently. Texas will try to reclaim the lead here. Harmon dribbling right, hands it off as they run their weave up top. Dribbling left is Lee to Judd, left wing. She wants 3, no good. Fight for the rebound, out of bounds, off Okot, they say. Just can't seem to get a rebound. Everything is off of fingertips tonight. That shot did draw iron. The shot clock should go to 20, and it does. Texas will bring it in, baseline right side. Harmon got to hurry, gets it into Oldacre, and that's going to be a foul from behind on Madina Okot. Okot will pick up her first. Non-shooting. Gamecocks got a 5 count earlier. Can they create another turnover here? They want to get Justice Carlton back in the game. She'll pick up Judd. Again, it'll be Harmon, the trigger woman, baseline right side. Tied at 55 with 5:34 to play in this top 5 showdown. That's got to be a foul. Thought we were going to get one on Oldacre. She was just shoving one of the Gamecocks, and they're going to put it on Carolina instead. That's going to be on Madina Okot. There's a lot of shoving going on by both players there. Oh, you wait a minute. Oh, Oldacre. Oh, no. That should have been on Kyla Oldacre. That's a horrible call. Harmon will bring it in baseline to the left side this time. Got to hurry to avoid the 5. Finally gets it into Carlton left side. The Gamecocks got robbed on that last one. Harmon back to the top of the circle, guarded by Raven. And they're going to call a foul on Raven Johnson. Quickly, the fouls stacking up on the Gamecocks here with 5:27 to play. The last thing you want to do is let this become a free throw battle. Second foul on Raven, 4th on the Gamecocks, so that's it. Last to give before the bonus. We've got 5:27 to play. They'll bring it in along the far sideline. They do get it into Carlton, and we're underway. Now to Harmon. Raven Johnson picks her up, dribbling left, passes to Booker, left elbow jumper, no good. Rebound Latson, she was pushed from behind. And it's going to be a tie-up. Possession arrow favors Texas. Latson got the rebound. She was pushed from behind, and they don't call the foul. Unbelievable. That is 2 horrendous calls that have gone against South Carolina here on one possession. They get it into Harmon, feed it back to Madison Booker. Has a shot blocked by Raven. That's a held ball, possession to Carolina. What a play by Raven. Carolina ball still tied at 55 after 2 horrendous calls in that position. Triggered into Madina Okot. Somebody needs to come get it from her. Midpoint of the 4th quarter, we're tied at 55. Edwards will get it across the timeline. Hands it off to Raven Johnson. Guarded by Harmon. Dribbling to her right. Shot clock at 15. Lob underneath to Joyce, and we throw it away. And the poor decisions and execution continue. Tied at 55 with 4:57 to play. Texas will have it when we come back. Atkins Law Firm proudly supports Gamecock women's basketball. And if you've been injured on the job, remember who you hire matters. Call them at 803-251-6406. Back in a moment for more South Carolina women's basketball on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Gamecock fans, it's Alexis Potts from Gamecock Equestrian.
3 out of 10 from three-point range. Texas 22 out of 50 for 44%, 1 out of 6 from distance. They've hit 10 out of 11 of their free throws. Gamecocks led by Tania Latson and Tessa Johnson with 12 points apiece. Joyce Edwards with 10 points on 2 of 10 shooting. She's hit all 6 of her free throws. Madison Booker has 18. Rory Harmon has 14 for Texas. Feels like any time the Gamecocks have a chance to get on a run, there's a turnover. Going to be Texas ball as play resumes. On the floor for the Gamecocks. Okot, Edwards, Latson, Johnson, and Johnson. The 2 Carolina bigs, Okot and Edwards, have had their struggles tonight. Texas ball will go the length of the floor. Harmon will bring it up. Guarded by Raven, gets it across along the far sideline. Feeds it inside to Booker, beats Tessa Johnson to the spot and lays it up and in. That's a tough matchup for Tessa, and Texas reclaims the lead. She's got 18 points, 57-55. Full court pressure as we look to inbound, get it into Joyce. Edwards will get it across the timeline. Hands are off to Raven, will settle into the half court. Raven guarded by Harmon in the man-to-man. Need a bucket to equal things here. Latson right side, 13 to shoot it. Trying to back her way down. cut off on the low block, missed it short, and ball knocked away, stolen by Joyce Edwards in the paint. Her follow-up is good. She's fouled, count the basket, chance for a three-point play. Well, Latson missed the well-contested shot from the low block. Jordan Lee got the rebound for Texas, but Joyce Edwards was right behind her and just poked it free. Got the hoop and the harm, and we're all square at 57 with Edwards at the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. 4:12 to play in this one. Follow-up free throw is good. Gamecocks reclaim the lead, 58-57. Joyce Edwards, 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Only a 63% free throw shooter coming in. Crowd on their feet, wanting a stop here. Booker, guarded by Tessa Johnson. She's had trouble slowing her down. Bounce pass to the right to Carlton. Guarded by Edwards, 15 on the shot clock. Hands it off to Jordan Lee. They switch on the screen. Pass it left. Pull-up jumper by Booker, no good. Rebound Edwards, and the Gamecocks have it. Gamecocks lead is just 1. Largest lead has only been 3 tonight for the Gamecocks. 3:45 to play in this one. Raven across the timeline, guarded closely by Harmon. Dribbling to her right now. Harmon comes under the screens. Pass it left to Okot. They're daring her to shoot the three. She will. Bang! Madina Okot, the big girl, just her third three-pointer of the year, and the Gamecocks lead 61-57, largest lead of the game. And a timeout taken by Vic Schaefer. And this place is going bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Madina Okot, the 6'6 center, with just her third three-pointer. They left her open, and she buried it. It's a 4-point lead at 61-57. We'll step aside. You're listening to South Carolina women's basketball. Top 5 teams going head-to-head. Crowd's been going nuts here. About 18,000 strong here at a packed Colonial Life Arena. It'll be Texas ball as play resumes. With 3:21 to play. Could use another stop here. Johnson and Johnson, Latson, Edwards, and Okot still on the floor. Texas will inbound in the forecourt near their own bench. Edwards will guard Booker, who's inbounding. Gets it into Harmon up top, and we're underway. Dribbling to her right, Raven picks her up in the man-to-man. Still has it on the floor, trying to create. Dribbling right, passing right to Lee. Lee driving in the lane, pushes off and lays it up and in, and the lead cut in half at 61-59. Here's that full court pressure again. We get it into Joyce. She'll hand it back to Raven. 3 minutes to play. Gamecocks with just a 2-point lead. Every possession becoming critical now. See if we can make it a 2-possession game again. They got a good set on the last trip, did Texas. Raven feeds it inside. Madina Okot working against Oldacre. Takes the mid-range, missed it short. Good placement there for Okot, who lost a wheel, lost her shoe. Here comes the Longhorns in transition. Up top with it is Jordan Lee, trying to tie the game. Spins, kicks it out, wide open for three is Carlton for the lead. No good. Edwards with the rebound, and the Gamecocks have it. Joyce Edwards will put it on the floor and bring it up. Okot still trying to get her shoe on. 2:24 to play. Gamecocks lead Texas 61-59. Gamecocks trying to make it a 2-possession game. 15 on the shot clock. Raven dribbling right, guarded closely by Harmon. Latson had a big start to the third quarter. She's been quiet since. Shot clock down to 5. Raven still has it on the floor. Trying to drive, pull-up jumper, rolls off the rim, no good. Rebound underneath by Tessa, and a foul. And that'll put the Gamecocks on the line as the Longhorns are over the limit. Now you got to make the free throws, which has been a challenge as of late. Going to put that on, I think it was, well, we'll see. Was it Carlton or Lee? One of them picked up their 5th foul. It's Jordan Lee, picks up her 5th foul. The sophomore fouls out with 10 points. And now Tessa Johnson at the line. Just 1 out of 2 from the stripe tonight as Tessa has a dozen points. First one, no good. Tessa Johnson came into this game a 78% foul shooter, but she's 1 for 3 tonight. And you hate to see it. One more time. Got that one to go. 3-point lead at 62-59. 2:02 to play in this one. Here come the Longhorns. Harmon across the timeline. Gamecocks need another stop. Raven on the man-to-man. Passes, nope, she holds on to it. Picks up the dribble, needs help. Up top it comes to Oldacre. 15 to shoot it. She'll hand it back to Booker. They signal their play with the shot clock winding down to 10. Tessa picks her up to Oldacre. Back to Booker coming off the screen. Left elbow jumper, no good. Long rebound carries out to Harmon. Wide open for three, no good. Fight for the rebound. It's loose on the floor. Gamecocks get the rebound. And did they call a timeout? Let's see. No, it's a shot clock violation on Texas. Carolina ball. That's what the officials are saying now. Looked like the Gamecocks had the rebound on the floor and were trying to call timeout. The officials signaled shot clock violation. Either way, it should be Carolina ball. Looks like we're going to have another review. Brought to you by Cool Care. Call Cool Care to assist with your HVAC and plumbing needs. They offer free estimates and free second opinions. Cool Care also offers 100% financing with credit approval. Locally owned and operated, Cool Care has been serving South Carolina for over 25 years. For more information on these and other services, please call Cool Care at 803-772-7715 or visit coolcarehvac.com. Giving it a look here to see if that last shot drew any iron by Rory Harmon. Either way, it looked like the Gamecocks had the rebound and were trying to call a timeout. So to reset, we've got 1:31 to play. South Carolina leading number 4 Texas 62-59 here at a packed house at Colonial Life Arena. Gamecocks trying to stay unbeaten in SEC play. Texas trying to give the Gamecocks their first loss. They're 3-1 in league play, coming off a loss at LSU for their first loss of the season.
The ruling on the floor is a shot clock violation. The game clock will be reset to 1:32. 1:32.
So there you go. It'll be Carolina ball with 1:32 to play. Now you got to work against this full court pressure. And it'll be an opportunity for the Gamecocks, hopefully, to make it a two-possession game. The lead is just 3 right now. They have to go the length of the floor. Johnson and Johnson, Latson, Edwards, and Okot on the floor. Gamecocks moving left to right, have to go the full length of the floor. Raven Johnson will be the trigger woman. We have struggled against this pressure most of the game. They don't guard Raven. Get it into Joyce. Joyce looking to bring it up. She'll hand it back to Raven. Here we go. Raven across the timeline, guarded closely by Harmon. Shot clock down to 15. Raven dribbling to her right. Harmon stays with her. See if we can get it to a shooter. Raven drives the baseline. Cut off there. Shot clock under 10. Needs some help. Knifes it her way in and lays it up and in through a sea of arms. And the Gamecocks lead 64-59 with 1:02 to play. The largest lead of the night of 5 points. What a finish by Raven, and Texas will burn a timeout here with 53 seconds to play. What a shot by Raven Johnson to give the Gamecocks a 5-point lead. She's got 8 points. Timeout taken by the Longhorns. They've got 2 remaining. It's the 30. We'll keep it right here. Thought she was holding on to it too long. Somehow she got that one to go through a sea of arms. Gamecocks don't want to foul either. With 54 seconds to play, you don't want them to get shots at the free throw line with the clock not moving, because the next foul will put Carolina over the limit. Texas already over the limit with 5 fouls. This game was tied at 32. Gamecocks trailed by as many as 9 in the first half, and then went into the locker room at halftime with the game tied at 32 after Joyce Edwards hit 2 free throws with less than a second to play. Now it's their largest lead of 5 points for Carolina with 53.8 seconds to play. Trying to find a way. Got to get some stops. Texas would be forced to foul, I would think, if the Gamecocks can get a force.
55.2, 23 on the shot clock.
They're going to reset the game clock because a little extra time had come off the clock, apparently. So we'll see what they set it to. I think they said 55. No, not 5:52. 55.2 seconds. They've got 5 minutes and 52 seconds. There we go. Now they've got it right. 55.2 seconds to play. Gamecocks still with the original starting 5 on the floor. Johnson and Johnson, Latson, Edwards, and Okot. Texas ball, they'll inbound in the forecourt near their own bench on the sideline, with the Gamecocks leading 64-59. Preston to trigger it in. Latson doing jumping jacks in front of her. Gets it into Harmon. Raven picks her up. Comes around a screen to her right. Tessa takes her on the switch. Feed it right side. Trying to drive is Booker underneath the basket. Reverse layup. No good. Fight for the rebound. They've got it, and they lay it up and in. And that makes it a one-possession game at 64-61, and a timeout taken by Dawn Staley to bring it into the forecourt with 44.8 seconds to play. Has a big bucket there, making it a one-possession game. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Gamecocks and Longhorns each have 2 remaining. That bucket by Booker, she's got 22 points. Her 8th 20-point game of the season. And she leaves the door open for Texas. Gamecocks would love to get some more points here while working some clock. But of course, you got to inbound as well. It was tied at 32 at halftime. Gamecocks were down 1 going into the fourth quarter. The lead is just 3 now. See what they draw up. Gamecocks will bring it into play on the sideline near their bench. Down to our right. Raven Johnson will trigger it in. Harmon will be in front of her. 64-61 Carolina, 44.8 seconds to play. Raven the trigger woman. Gets it into Joyce, we're underway. She'll hand it back to Raven. Gamecocks will work as much clock as possible, about a 15-second differential. Harmon guarding Raven closely here. Raven turns her back to her, shot clock down to 15. 29 seconds on the game clock. Raven around a screen to her right. Between the legs dribble, into the lane, hop step, puts it up and in! Raven Johnson with 23 seconds to play. Makes it 66-61. The senior point guard having the minutes of her life here in the final 2 minutes of this one. And now they're going to review again. Not sure what that was about. Raven definitely got it off. The shot clock wasn't near expiring. I guess they're checking the game clock. This will be a quick review. Gamecocks leading at 66-61 with 23.1 seconds to play. She hit an near impossible shot with 102. Keep making a 5-point lead. Booker got a bucket to make it a 3-point game. Now a timeout taken by Texas, so we'll step aside. Back in just a moment, you're listening to South Carolina Women's Basketball on the Gamecock Sports Network.
Live from the Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union Beehive. This is WTCB-FM, Orangeburg, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. And home of the Midlands Morning Show with Kaylin and LB. B106.7.
Texas inbounds quickly. They put it into Madison Booker. She drives the lane right side and lays it up and in. And just like that, the 5-point lead is down to 3 again at 66-63 with 19.4 seconds to play. Gamecocks didn't want a foul to create the and one, but gave Booker too good of a look. She's got 24 points. Timeout taken by Dawn Staley. We'll keep it right here. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. There's 19.4 seconds to play in this top 5 showdown. South Carolina leading Texas 66-63. Gamecocks will be able to inbound in front of their own bench, but that's the key. They've got to inbound, and then Texas has to go for a steal or foul. Gamecocks trying to hold on here at home. They've gone back and forth, had a 5-point lead twice here in the closing 2 minutes, but Texas has gotten 2 quick buckets each time after those scores to make it a 1-possession game. Madison Booker, the SEC Player of the Year, 24 points. Gamecocks, Johnson and Johnson, Latson, Edwards, and Okot on the floor. 19.4 seconds to play. Raven will bring it in front of the Carolina bench, guarded by Harmon. Both teams are over the limit in fouls, 1 timeout remaining for each. Raven looks to trigger it in. Got to hurry. Gets it into Okot. Back to Raven and a foul right away. Now who's going to shoot the free throws is the big question. Going to put the foul on Oldacre. That's 4 fouls on her, but more importantly, I believe that's going to put Madina Okot at the line instead of Raven Johnson. Madina not as good of a free throw shooter at only 65%. With 18.3 seconds to go, she needs to make one of them. 66-63 Gamecocks. Missed the first one. Gamecocks had hit some free throws in the second half after a dismal first half. Now a big one from Okot with 18.3 to go. She makes the second one. It's a 4-point game, 67-63. Looked like one of the Longhorns was in the lane anyway, and Texas is going to burn their final timeout. 4-point lead for the Gamecocks with 18.3 seconds to play. We'll keep it right here. Wow, this one going down to the wire just like the first one in Las Vegas, where Tania Latson hit 2 free throws to tie it at 64 with 15 seconds to play. And then Rory Harmon of Texas hit the game winner with 0.7 seconds to play. Here, the Gamecocks lead 67-63. It'll be Texas ball. They can inbound in front of their own bench. The Longhorns are out of timeouts. The Gamecocks do not want to foul, because the next foul would put them over the limit. You don't want to create an and one opportunity as well. See how they play it. You don't want to give up something quick either. You don't want to allow the Longhorns to just score and no time to go off the clock. 2-possession game with 18.3 seconds to play. Still the same 5 out there for the Gamecocks. It'll be Preston to trigger it in on the sideline near the Texas bench. Tania Latson will guard the inbound. Cross-court pass to Oldacre on the other side on the baseline. Gets it to Booker up top for a long one. No good off the rim. Fight for the rebound. Joyce Edwards has it, and she's fouled. Carolina ball with 10.5 seconds to play. You put it in the hands of the best player. It was a well-contested shot that time. Now we'll go the other way for some free throws. See if we can wrap this up at the line. Edwards, who's got 13 points, 8 rebounds tonight, got a big board there. She's had a tough day offensively, even though the 13 points, just 3 out of 11 from the floor. She's at the line here with 10.5 seconds to go. It's been an adventure at the free throw line the last few weeks for the Gamecocks. Okot just hit 1 out of 2 a moment ago to make it a 2-possession game. Joyce hits the first one. She's 8 for 8 from the line tonight. Makes it 68-63. What had been their Achilles heel might save them here tonight. Missed the second one. Fight for the rebound. Joyce couldn't corral it in the corner. So we hit 1 out of 2 again. It's a 5-point lead with 8.4 seconds to play. Gamecocks trying to hold off the Longhorns. We go for the steal, and Raven Johnson commits a foul 90 feet from the basket. Oh, Raven, what are you doing? You've made some fantastic plays to give the Gamecocks the lead. Now you give the Longhorns a chance to score with the clock not moving. You have to think more clearly than that, because now you can make it a one-possession game. You can't do that. 90 feet from the basket, she commits a foul, and that'll send Texas to the line with 7.5 seconds to play. It'll be Rory Harmon, who's got 14 points tonight. Makes the first one. She doesn't foul there. Gamecocks maybe have this wrapped up. Another made free throw here will make it a one-possession game. She got them both, and it's 68-65, and Coach Taylor's going to burn her final timeout. So both teams are out of timeouts. Both teams in the bonus with 7.5 seconds to play. The Gamecocks clinging to a 3-point lead at 68-65. You've got to inbound, and assuming they foul, you have to make one free throw. And again, Ravens made some huge plays tonight, but if you don't foul, Texas has to go the length of the floor. There's just 7 seconds left. That takes at least 4 seconds off the clock. But instead, it leaves the door open. And a fifth-year senior's got to know better than that. You don't need to play hero 90 feet from the basket. But she has made some tremendous plays tonight that have given the Gamecocks the lead. Let's see if they can overcome that gap here and hold on for the win. Both teams out of timeouts, both teams in the bonus. Top 5 showdown here in the SEC in front of 18,000 strong. This must be the long timeout for the Gamecocks. You see how both teams are out of timeouts. Carolina ball, they'll be able to inbound in front of their own bench. You just got to get it into play. Texas would have to foul. And then you got to make at least one free throw. Rory Harmon just hit 2 free throws with 7.5 seconds to play after the foul. You want to get the ball into a free throw shooter as well. Raven will be the trigger woman. Will inbound right in front of Coach Staley. We send Raven and Madina into the backcourt. Looking to get it in. We lob it underneath the basket to Joyce. And Joyce will dribble out. They're not going to foul her, and that'll do it. South Carolina knocks off 4th-ranked Texas, 68-65. Spurs up. The Horns go down at Colonial Life Arena. Gamecocks remain unbeaten in SEC play. They improved to 18-1 overall, 5-0 in the SEC. Texas loses their second straight, dropping to 18-2, 3-2 in league play. We'll take a timeout and start our wrap-up after this. You're listening to South Carolina Women's Basketball on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. Back at Colonial Life Arena, Gamecocks a winner over 4th-ranked Texas tonight, 68-65. Welcome into the post-game locker room report driven by Jim Hudson Automotive. Just like the first game, this one went down to the wire. This time the Gamecocks come out victorious as they hold on for the 3-point victory to stay unbeaten in SEC play. As we look at the final numbers in the contest, pretty close in a lot of areas. Gamecocks, after a dismal shooting first half, picked it up in the second half. 44% from the floor, 23 out of 52 overall. 4 out of 11 from three-point range for 36%. From the free throw line, 18 out of 26 for 69%. Rebounds, Gamecocks were out-rebounded tonight, 34-29. Texas, 43% from the floor, 26 out of 60. They hit just 1 out of 9 from three-point range, but boy, did they hit their free throws. 12 out of 13 for 92%. Turnovers were a big issue for both teams. It was incredible and at times ridiculous. 22 turnovers for Texas, who were only averaging 10 a game. 20 turnovers for South Carolina, who were only averaging 12 per contest. But both teams able to work through it. A lot of turnovers, a lot of big shots, and joined now by assistant coach Joe Letlaw. This is the post-game coaches interview brought to you by Jim Hudson Automotive. Coach, I appreciate you joining us. Wow, what a finish, what a game, big win for your program. Your thoughts on tonight's game? We got you, Coach?
Yes.
Okay,
Hello?
There we are. There you go. Sorry about that.
No problem. I was like, it was not a pretty game, a lot of turnovers, but at the end, our team fought through. We got stopped when we needed to get stopped, and we made baskets when we needed to make baskets. I'm super proud of the team.
What was the message to the team? Kind of a sluggish start. You get down by 9, weren't shooting well, and there was a lot of turnovers early. What was the message to the team to kind of fight through that?
It was a tight court half. Coach Taylor